Jameson Williams is officially out of the Detroit Lions. The young wide receiver, who was recently considered a key piece in the team's offense, now finds himself away from the squad, opening the door for speculation about his future in the NFL. What seemed unlikely a few months ago has now become an undeniable reality, and the Lions have decided to move forward without one of their most explosive receivers, opting for a strategic overhaul of the roster and reassessing their priorities in shaping the offense for the coming seasons. This change marks a new phase for both the team and Williams, whose talent has never been in question, but whose future in the league now remains uncertain. Williams' journey in Detroit was marked by high expectations, moments of brilliance, and significant challenges. Since his arrival in the NFL, he has faced considerable obstacles, starting with a severe injury in college that prevented him from fully participating in his rookie season as a professional. This prolonged recovery delayed his development and raised doubts about his ability to establish himself as an elite receiver in the league. Despite this initial setback, the Lions placed high hopes on the young talent, confident that his speed and athletic abilities would elevate the level of the team's passing attack. Beyond physical challenges, Williams also faced off-field issues. In 2023, he was suspended for violating the NFL's substance policy, adding another layer of difficulty to his development. This suspension limited his participation in the season and raised questions about his dedication and commitment to the team. As a result, the patience of the front office began to be tested. The receiver returned to the field determined to prove his worth, and when he finally had the chance to showcase his talent, he did not disappoint. The 2024 season seemed to be Williams' turning point. He recorded an impressive 1,001 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns, numbers that highlighted why he was a first-round pick in the NFL draft. His speed and ability to stretch the field made him a crucial weapon in the Lions' offensive scheme, complementing the solid performance of Amon-Ra St. Brown and helping transform the team's offense into one of the most dynamic in the league. His explosiveness not only created opportunities for himself but also opened spaces for other receivers and made the quarterback's job easier, making the offensive game more unpredictable and lethal for opposing defenses. However, even with his performance on the field, Williams continued to deal with off-field issues. During the season, he was once again involved in controversies, including another suspension for using prohibited substances and an altercation with authorities. Although the latter incident did not result in severe penalties, it contributed to the perception of instability and concern surrounding him. The Lions management, which had previously shown confidence in the player's potential, began reconsidering his place on the roster. The recurrence of off-field problems and uncertainty over his ability to avoid future controversies led the team to reevaluate his continuity with the squad. The decision to part ways with Williams gained traction behind the scenes as the season drew to a close. Rumors began circulating, suggesting that the receiver could be traded in the offseason. Journalist Michael Giannitti from Spotrac pointed out that Williams was one of the main candidates for a potential trade, something that initially seemed unlikely, but over time became increasingly plausible. The change in the team's offensive command, with the departure of coordinator Ben Johnson, brought a new perspective to the coaching staff and fueled speculation about potential roster changes. Several factors contributed to the Lions' final decision. The departure of offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, one of the key architects of the team's attack, signaled strategic changes that could impact Williams' role within the squad. Additionally, the free agency and draft markets for wide receivers were scarce, making any talented player a valuable asset for other franchises. Williams' rookie contract still had $3 million guaranteed for 2025, which could represent both an opportunity and a financial risk for potential suitors. Given this scenario, the Lions chose to clear cap space and seek new alternatives to strengthen the wide receiver position. Although Williams demonstrated great potential on the field, his off-field issues and uncertainty about his commitment outweighed his performance. Detroit now faces the challenge of finding a worthy replacement, whether through free agency or the draft, to keep the offense competitive and continue pursuing a Super Bowl berth. The front office understands that the offense needs stability and reliability, something that wasn't always possible with Williams on the roster. Another critical aspect of Williams' departure is how it impacts quarterback Jared Goff and the chemistry within the Lions' offense. Losing a deep threat like Williams means Goff will need to adjust to a potentially different passing game strategy. Whether the team can successfully integrate new wide receivers without disrupting the established rhythm remains a key question. Furthermore, Williams' departure raises concerns about the team's depth at wide receiver. While Amon-Ra St. Brown remains a dominant force, Detroit must now determine whether a young prospect from the draft or a veteran free agent can fill the gap. The Lions front office has historically taken a calculated approach to roster changes, but the urgency to maintain a high-powered offense adds pressure to their decision-making. Another element to consider is the locker room culture. the Lions have been emphasizing a disciplined and focused team environment under head coach Dan Campbell. Williams' off-field issues, while not entirely detrimental, may have clashed with the culture the coaching staff is trying to build. His departure might reinforce a message of accountability within the organization. Another critical factor is how this move impacts the team's locker room dynamics. Williams, despite his off-field concerns, was well-liked by many of his teammates and had built relationships within the squad. His departure could signal to other players that off-field discipline and reliability are non-negotiable. Under head coach Dan Campbell's leadership, this move reinforces the organization's emphasis on a culture of accountability, ensuring that every player understands the importance of professionalism on and off the field. For Williams, the road ahead remains uncertain but not devoid of opportunities. Several NFL teams are always in search of speedsters who can stretch defenses and make big plays. If he can prove to potential suitors that he has learned from past mistakes and is committed to his craft, he may find a new home relatively quickly. However, teams will likely approach him with caution, structuring contracts with minimal guarantees and incentive-based clauses to mitigate risks associated with his past behavior. From a financial standpoint, the Lions' decision to part ways with Williams also comes with salary cap implications. By moving on from the receiver, Dietrich frees up resources that could be redirected toward strengthening other areas of the team, such as bolstering the offensive line or improving the defensive secondary. The Lions have already been active in evaluating potential roster upgrades, and this move aligns with a broader vision of maintaining financial flexibility while building a sustainable contender. Looking ahead, Williams' potential landing spots in the NFL remain a topic of speculation. Teams with a strong locker room culture and veteran leadership could be ideal fits, as they might help guide him through this pivotal moment in his career. Franchises such as the Kansas City Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens, or San Francisco 49ers could be intriguing destinations. Given their need for speed at the wide receiver position and their established coaching structures, from Williams' perspective, this separation represents both a setback and an opportunity. While being let go by the Lions is a blow to his reputation, it also allows him to seek a fresh start in a new system. If he lands with a team that can provide strong mentorship and structure, he has the potential to flourish and rewrite his narrative. One potential storyline to watch in the coming months is how Williams responds to this setback. Will he embrace the challenge and focus on proving himself, or will his off-field issues continue to overshadow his talent? His next steps will be crucial in determining the trajectory of his career in the NFL. And you, fan, what do you think about Jameson Williams' departure? Was it the right decision, or a mistake the Lions might regret in the future? Leave your opinion in the comments and keep following the Lions news. Fan Report for more analysis and updates on your favorite team.